Hello guys, welcome back to another stream. It's a lovely Monday and I'm here with AJ and Satoshi Stacker himself. How are you, AJ?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks. Hopefully we're going to talk about some potential bullish news coming onto the charts. So yeah, we'll get onto that in a moment.
Yes, and also, guys, make sure if you are viewing this that you stick around. We'll have a Q&A at the end, and somebody is going to win $50. We're doing a giveaway, and it's going to be every single day this week, so make sure that you stay tuned whenever we go live. And we're also here, Satoshi Stacker. How
Yo,
are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Finally, the markets are starting to get a little bit interesting again after going sideways for forever, like at 2029 or 30. So, yeah, I'm excited to be here.
Yes, know it's just been such a horrible week with everyone's kind of worried. I think about what's gone on with the Fed, but I do want to just jump into some news. So, firstly, if you see on my screen here, these the kind of the major thing at the moment that's going on that I think will affect the general crypto market. It is the World Economic Forum. So, as you see here, the WEF, it's held in Davos, usually held every single year. Because of COVID, it was put off for 2 years. But these are the latest updates. So you can follow this here going through, you've got Ripple CEO talking about the Luna crash, all of these different bits of news. But what I really want to get into is I think the reason why this is going to be quite pivotal in the overall markets is that we're going to see some regulation. And I think this is going to be people accelerating that to a certain degree. And I know heavy regulation is not good. But I also think some regulation will be good for the future of crypto. So there's just a couple of things I want to point out here. Garlinghouse, the CEO of Ripple, he did say that he went to the SEC 4 or 5 times before they decided to launch a lawsuit against him. Which, I mean, you would think they would at least talk to him and try and settle things without just straight up filing a lawsuit. But he did say something that I think is going to be a bit of a catalyst. It demonstrates how out of step the United States is with the G20, saying that Switzerland, Singapore, and the UK and Japan are far more favorable in terms of regulation. AJ, what do you think in terms of some of the regulation or some of these talks that are going on? Is it going to be beneficial for the industry in general?
Yeah, well, I think, like you said earlier, too much regulation, will be bad. But just having a bit of regulation is great because it puts trust in crypto for people that aren't in crypto right now. The people that are looking at the Luna situation and thinking, I'm not going near crypto because I don't want that to happen to myself. But I think, having a little bit of regulation puts that trust back into people who haven't yet, invested into crypto.
Yeah, absolutely agree. And what I want to show is there's going to be, and this is where I think a lot of the big institutional and governmental bodies will kind of get involved. So you see here, PayPal looks to embrace all possible crypto and blockchain services. So they're trying to put themselves really at the forefront of being a typical company, like a traditional company, but moving into that DeFi space quite heavily. And one thing that I wanted to show here was that they said whether it be coins that we have today in PayPal digital wallets, private digital currencies, or central bank digital currencies in the future. And I've highlighted this because I'm thinking this is where that you have all of the big hedge funds, you have all of the big banks, you've got governments, you've got crypto heads, you've got all of these. It's like a melting pot of pretty much exactly what us as investors in crypto want, because we want these crypto guys to be able to actually, speak, outline exactly what the blockchain can do, outline how good a digital currency could be. And I think this is going to be part of the adoption that we're going to see as kind of like a catalyst to help drive some adoption and government, should we say, initiative. But they did also mention that PayPal are considering their own stablecoin of PayPal coin. Now, just to jump into, well, I want to get into the technical analysis, but I was talking about CBDCs. Now, Lagarde, so that's Christine Lagarde, she's the president of the European Central Bank. She said that she doesn't like cryptos, basically. My humble assessment is that it's worth nothing. It's based on nothing. There is no underlying asset to act as an anchor of safety. So I guess the ironic thing here is that we came off of the gold standard in the 60s. Money is now backed by nothing. There's no underlying asset. So fiat money is, it sounds exactly the same as what she's saying here. But what she has said is that she's okay with, still a digital euro would be different, she said. So she shows that she's open to the idea of a CBDC, and that's going to be like a European, like imagine if the euro went digital. I think that would be quite catalytic, to be honest, to actually have such a big change in the way that these guys are kind of looking at it. And I know China are quite far ahead, in fact, very far ahead. I think I saw somewhere, and correct me if I'm wrong here, but during the Olympics in China, I believe that they were using the Chinese CBDC. I don't know if anyone heard of that.
Well, they have been used, like they've been airdropping it to people before. This is something I do know. So I've also heard something about the Olympics and the CBDC there in China. So yeah, it may very well be something they're doing at this moment.
Yeah. And I think, that's just kind of showing how far ahead, the China in fact are. But I do want to get into and have a look at some of the major, I guess the major news story. The headline is 8 weeks of continuous downside. AJ, I know you're the technical genius here, so I want you to just kind of explain like a little bit about what this might mean.
Yeah, so we are looking, extremely bearish. Like I posted over on Twitter. If you don't follow the Twitter account, make sure you go down below, click the link, and follow our Twitter account. But yeah, I posted here on Twitter that yesterday we did get that red weekly candle close, and that has now confirmed 8 red weekly candles in a row. With non-stop price action towards the downside. The last time that we saw this was actually in 2014 when we had 6 weekly red candles. So we haven't seen this in a very long time. So we are in a very, very, bearish time. But there is some good news that is coming in on the charts right now. So what I'm looking at this current time in the Bitcoin charts is this falling wedge that I found in the charts. Now, we have used this as resistance twice before, and we have used this as support. We are currently sat at that support level right now, which correlates perfectly with this much longer term support level, which I've been talking about in the previous videos. We are sat at that support level right now. And I do strongly believe that a relief rally is needed right now, because it's like, when we see lots of price action towards the downside, we do have those pullbacks before we see any more price action towards the upside. It happens here again. We had that pullback and then more price action towards the downside. It's sort of the same, when we're going down. We've had so much price action towards the downside. We need to have a little relief rally before, potentially more downwards price action. But there is some more bullish news that I'll get to in a moment. But as I said, we are holding that support right now. If we can get a nice green weekly candle above this support level, and confirming that bounce, then my price target in the next 1, 2, 3 months is going to be between 35,000 or $37,000. That's where I'm looking at Bitcoin coming to, if we can see that bounce. Now, it's too early to say if we are going to break that resistance, or we're going to get a rejection at that point. But there's lots of scenarios that can play out. We could break above, test that support, and break higher, or we could see a rejection and come back down and test the support that we are currently sat at right now. But if we were to break this resistance level here, it wouldn't confirm to me that we are bullish, because we have been forming these lower highs. We've got these lower highs here, and we've been forming these lower lows. This confirms that we are very, very bearish at the moment. What I'll be looking for to completely flip bullish again. If we broke this resistance, I'll be sort of neutral, 50-50. But for me to, flip completely bullish, I would like to see Bitcoin breaking these lower high trends by breaking this $37,000 level. That's what I'm looking for, to completely flip bullish, because, there's still that possibility that we come up to the resistance, we see a rejection, come and test this support again, break that support, and then we come all the way back down to this level of support that I've been talking about in the past two shows that we've had, this $22,000 level. The previous times we have seen these big dumps, as you can see here, we have tested those support levels every time. So, I'm not taking that $22,000 Bitcoin off the table. It's still a possibility that we could come down to test those levels if we did break the support. But as of right now, I strongly believe we are going to get that relief rally. We are going to come up and test this resistance. It's too early to say if we're going to break that resistance or not. But, as of right now, I'm sort of going to give a price target of between 35,000, 37,000 up at this resistance level. I think that's a pretty good level to see Bitcoin come to if we see this relief rally. But of course, we do have to get that bounce at the support right now. And, we are, getting a rejection on this DXY. So I've been talking about this DXY chart for a number of days now, and I'm sure you're all, familiar with this level. We've been talking about that every time, the last two times that we've come and tested this resistance on the DXY, Bitcoin has found a bottom and we've seen mega pumps. We are at that resistance right now, and we are, seeing a slight rejection. This rejection isn't confirmed for me yet because we haven't seen the rejection at the retest. We are just, coming back down to the bottom of that resistance area. But what I would like to see is a nice red candle below this resistance level to, confirm that rejection. And then, I would expect to see a mega rally in Bitcoin. So, this is looking good. If we can find support here, that would be very bullish news. And then we can start talking about this level up here, this resistance level here, if we can break it, if we can't. But as of right now, I'm just saying if we can hold this support, then we are most likely going to come up and test that resistance, which would, be very, very bullish news for Bitcoin. And I think you can both agree on that.
Yeah, I definitely think there has to be like a solid candle close at, like to the upside. So it has to have a green candle close in order for me to, begin thinking, okay, well, we might be out of this downward pressure. But yeah, like you said, it might just be a little relief bounce, which, you could obviously, you could trade that actively as a trader. But, as I guess, I'm always happy to buy Bitcoin at 30K. But it's tough to say that it's tough to say that it's going to bounce back up to 69,000. There's just so much downward pressure. But
and as I said, to start seeing that 60K level, we do need to break this bearish weekly trend we do have on the weekly chart. We need to break this 47,000. If we don't break that level, we are still, we could come up and we could just about miss that $47,000 level, still creating those lower lows on the weekly chart. So we have to break that level, to start seeing those 60K levels. But, with my trading portfolio right now, if we do see this bounce, I'll open a little trade all the way up to this around $35,000, $37,000 level. Then I'll start taking profit there. If we do break that level, I'll potentially keep that open, see if we can come and test this $47,000 level. But as of right now, I just want to see that bounce, and then we can get that relief rally.
Yeah, and just going back onto that the DXY chart that you had up there, like I do believe that the US will see a recession if it's not already in one, which I'm slightly suspicious of it actually kind of being in one. The rate hikes have been agreed on. I'm pretty sure that we're going to see this continued pullback across all markets, to be honest. And I think that's going to, weaken the dollar, which, as you've seen in history, has always been very, very good for Bitcoin.
Yeah, and the problem is, people that don't see charts like this, they look at the dollar and think, wow, the strength of the dollar is doing so well. So, they tend to stay away from sort of the riskier things. They're saying to themselves, what's the point of investing because the dollar's doing so well? But they don't see charts that we're showing you here. Every time we've come to this resistance. We have seen that rejection. So this is what people don't see. And that's sort of why the market hasn't really seen that reaction just yet, because people are thinking, what's the point of going into riskier assets when the dollar is doing so well?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Absolutely great analysis. Love that. Absolutely love that. What we should do, should we do our little Q&A? Should we do a Q&A?
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Good.
sounds good to me.
Yeah. Chris, Chris, do you want to tell them about
Yo. Yeah, I'm also here. So maybe I can just show you a little bit of a thing going on right now on my chart. So I will try to share this one.
Here we go.
There we go. So actually, there's some people talking about this W pattern or potential W pattern here, where you have price forming these two lows and then the neckline here. So something like this, right? So I just wanted to point this out. This is on the hourly chart, and you can see that we've been trying to break through this multiple times right here. Haven't been able to convincingly break through and close above it, but yeah, this one is something to be on the lookout for. This is actually not a W pattern I like super much, simply because we're coming from sideways action here. So ideally what I would want to see is, and this is probably also apparent on the 4-hourly time frame. So usually what I would want to see is us coming, from a very clear uptrend, going down and then bottoming like this. But right now we're coming from like a downtrend, sideways, going up a little bit. So yeah, just wanted to point that out. And another thing I wanted to point out as well is, if you look at the sentiment right now, of course, it's very bearish. But if you look at the top Reddit post of today, you do have like, crypto has never existed through a global recession before. Like, oh, we're going to go so much lower. You think we're low right now? Well, we're going to go much lower, right? So these are kind of like interesting, because if you look 6 months ago, and this was roughly at the top for reference, well, the sentiment was very different on Reddit. So markets are almost certainly overreacting to the new virus strain. Here's why. Now implying that we're going to go even lower, although we were at the all-time high here. And then if you look at how things were looking when we were at 30K, which was the local bottom, before the run to 70K, well, don't blow all your money on this dip. It can get much worse. So this was at the absolute bottom, like the most upvoted Reddit post. And then we can continue here. So how was the sentiment over on Reddit when we topped at 60K? Well, the entire cryptocurrency accounts for only 0.16% of the global wealth. So it's not too late to invest. And of course, it's not too late to invest, but this just goes to show that whenever the vast majority are very, very bearish, of course, we've seen on the Fear and Greed Index that people have been super, super bearish recently. This does not mean that we absolutely have to go up. Like, we can still go lower. But whenever, everyone are super bearish, or when everyone are super bullish, the markets tend to punish that arrogance, if you will. So yeah,
I think it's signaling that Bitcoin bottom is looming. We may not be there yet. There could be downside, like I showed in the charts. There could be that $22,000 Bitcoin, maybe dips a little bit low. But all this stuff that's coming out now, it's looming. It's the Bitcoin bottom looming, I think, and I think you can both agree on that.
Yeah. No, I do. And one thing that I think is worth noting is, how like people say get out of an investment when everybody is talking about it. So when the hype is at the max, you have people who have no idea about crypto. They're like, oh, how do I get in on this thing? Because it's on the news, it's on everywhere, And I think at that stage, that's when logically, as traders and investors, usually we get out, because we know that the hype is too much, and and that's where realistically stupid money comes in and smart money goes out. So I think we're very much at a similar reverse stage of that now, where we're seeing people kind of hating on crypto and it could go to 10,000 or whatever. I think that's going to be, we are close to that bottom, in my opinion. Just using that general like almost like a psychology metric.
Yeah, Yeah, I mean, it of course it can go lower. The main thing is like if you look back in, I don't know, 4 years or 5 years or 10 years, I think that today's prices are going to be a very good buying opportunity. Now, whether the bottom has already hit at 25, whether we will go down to like 26 again, or maybe even 24 or whatever, like we're still in the vicinity of that bottom range, for me at least. So we will see. Time will tell, I guess.
Definitely.
Time
Yeah.
will tell. Time will tell indeed. And is there anything else you want to cover off there before
No.
before we do our Q&A?
No, I think we can do some Q&A if people have some questions.
Yeah. So guys, put in the chat if you do have any questions. Just stick it down below, and we will answer them. Also, thank you to everybody who hit that like button. Or I should say, smashed the like button.
Oh,
It obviously helps us out.
one more thing. If you post your question in the comment section, make sure to attach your Binance Smart Chain address as well. So for the best question, we will send $50 worth of BUSD.
Yes, which is very nice. Just for asking a question, $50. Yes, please.
Yeah, I mean, this is what I like on this channel. Like the community is still like it's obviously growing, but we can have a completely different like connection with the audience here, as opposed to something like the Satoshi Stacker channel, where we don't really have that much time to answer everyone and really connect with the audience. So this is what I like. We can get more personal here.
Yeah, and also, so during this week, I'll just let you guys in on a little, should we say, a little secret, is that we're working on something very, very big, and you guys are going to be very excited. And so we have a launch coming out, I'm going to say, around about next week. So make sure you stay tuned. That's going to be a huge project. We put a lot of time and effort into that. And we know you guys are going to like it. If you like this type of content, this type of analysis, we'll have a lot more for you. So make sure that you stay tuned.
Yeah, indeed. So also I will say, people are asking me like I should show my face and stuff. So if we can grow this channel to, let's say, 100,000, maybe I will do a face reveal here on this channel. So yeah, if you want me to show my face, go ahead and subscribe and smash the likes and everything else.
Yeah, mysterious Satoshi stacker. I know a lot of you guys want to see that. I know you want to see it. Make sure you hit that subscribe button.
Yeah.
Let's look at okay, can I buy the dip? I have 20k USD. I mean, look, we can't say that you should or shouldn't buy, at any particular price. We're not financial advisors. So, we can't, we won't. I'll tell you what I do. Me and AJ have been speaking over the past few days about how we personally ourselves will be DCA, so dollar cost averaging. So that's, we like this price. I like 30k Bitcoin. I like 50 cents for ADA, all these different cryptos. What I am doing is kind of allocating a small amount of money, each week or each month, and that's called dollar cost averaging. So if it goes down to 25, I'll be buying more. But even if it stays at 30, I'm happy with that. And then I'll just keep accumulating more and more crypto, because at these prices, I really like it. So I'm personally getting in now because I like that.
Yeah, and same. Like anything below like around 30k and below 30k, I'm just gonna continuously like accumulate. And do we go lower? Maybe then I will just buy even harder, because as I said previously, I still think that looking back in 5 years, I think the 30k dollar level, a lot of people are going to look back at this and say, why did I sell at this point, and why didn't I just hold, or why didn't I buy? So yeah, I'm accumulating the lower we go.
Yeah, me too. So a question here from MRE. What about altcoins? How do we handle underwater alt bags, and when do we start buying again? So again, it kind of is similar. So I with my alt bags, even those that I have a loss on, I'm just holding it, because these are more long term. And I feel like, I've said this before, where I feel like the altcoins are kind of like the companies in the stock market. where they're the ones that actually kind of do the work. That's where the smart contracts are. That's where the games are going to be, like play to earn. That's where, so many different projects are, being launched on these altcoins. I think that's going to be when we have more wide adoption, we're then going to see more users of these altcoins. And that's why I'm just holding those. So, again, I can say the same for Solana, Cardano, Ethereum. I quite like it at these prices. So I'm DCAing in. I don't know if you want to add anything else on there, AJ.
Yeah, and just to add on to that, he asked, when do we start buying again? I'm not buying altcoins yet. I just want that confirmation that Bitcoin is, going to see that relief bounce, and then I'll start, getting into some medium risk and then maybe some higher risk altcoins. But I will be, taking profit on them if we do, come up to that resistance level and we see a rejection. I'll take profits from them if we come up to that level and we get that rejection, because then most likely there will be more downside for Bitcoin. We could come back down and test the levels that we are at right now. So altcoins, I just want to see that confirmation for Bitcoin that we are going to see that relief rally, and then I'll start investing. But as of right now, I'm just sitting on the sidelines waiting for that Bitcoin confirmation.
Yeah. And typically, like, Bitcoin pumps first, and then it becomes altcoin season. So, I think at the moment, given we have consolidated, firstly, the first sign that we're going to see a pump in alts usually is we see a pump in Bitcoin.
Yeah. One thing I could add as well is I'm just gonna do this again. Share my. Oops. Let me see here. Okay, so one thing I will point out is that if you look at this is a historical snapshot from the peak of the last bull market. So this is the 7th of January 2018. And if you look at many of these altcoins, like Bitcoin Cash was at 4th place. Cardano, obviously, is still around. NEM, what has happened with NEM? Not really doing that much. Tron is around. Litecoin. Like, if you go down though, like EOS, Dash, Lisk, Icon, Nano, Siacoin, Bytecoin. There's a lot of coins here. Verge, Umisego. Like, most of these coins in the top 50, they're not around anymore. So Dragon Chain, Komodo, Hypercash, Kin, Electronium, where are these coins? So one thing that the markets have taught me, at least, is that the massive gainers during the next massive bull run is probably not going to be any of these older, like the 100x's are not going to be among the top 50 coins today, because that is not what we have seen previously. You can even look at the previous peak of the bull market prior to this, and you can see that the coins were very different from this bull market we're looking at right now in 2018. So the massive gainers in the next bullish phase are probably not going to be among the current coins available. So you will have to look for new opportunities. Now, of course, if you hold solid coins like Cardano, Ethereum, Bitcoin, obviously, they're going to do well. But if you want those like 150 access, you will probably have to look for new and upcoming coins. But I guess we will see about that as well. Of course, it's more risky as well.
Yeah, that is very true. Because that is the thing. I saw someone put in the comments here, Mike, 80% of altcoins will never see their all-time high again. And I do think that there are a lot of coins, like if you go on CoinMarketCap currently, there's just loads, thousands of them. And most of them won't be around, in my opinion, for, in the future. So that's why, like, holding solid coins like XRP, for example, it's always been around. I think that's probably a decent bet. I'm not saying that specifically, but the larger coins probably will be around. But yeah, like you said, not that much growth. But it's super high risk to go digging around the market cap of only like 20 million or something like this.
Yeah. So guys, attach a Binance Smart Chain, like an Ethereum EVM wallet in the comment section, and we will because I don't think anyone has actually dropped their address yet.
We said we'll give away $50 and no one wants it.
I mean, the first one who drops an Binance Smart Chain wallet in the live chat section will get $50. Let's make it easy.
Yeah. So hang on, let me just attach my wallet there.
Oh,
Yeah, you're
okay.
gonna need it with the price being down here, aren't you?
Yeah.
Meanwhile, I guess I will answer this question here, asking me about the Satoshi Stacker name. I just think it's a cool name, like stacking Satoshis. That's like my main goal. So yeah, it was pretty a no-brainer name for me, at least when I started like over 1 year ago.
Yeah. I think it's quite a cool name, to be fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it seems we got one
Durgesh.
Durgesh.
Yes. I don't think
So
he didn't even answer a question, but
yeah,
we
it
did
didn't.
change the rules.
Yeah.
So
So I guess for the next couple of days, please do attach your BSC address together with the question, because we want to answer a question and take the address from that question basically. But for now, I guess Durgesh Dohar won $50 of BUSD.
yes, well done, Durgesh. Let us know. Drop a comment on what you're going to do with it as well. We're quite keen to see whether you're going to put it into a specific altcoin or even just Bitcoin, or keep it.
Buy 50 trillion worth of Luna.
Yeah, buy all of it.
Buy the entire Luna network.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you very much for sticking around, guys. As we said, we're gonna have more of this coming up, and there will be more giveaways every single day at the end of our streams. So make sure you stick around and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss the live streams and the bell notification.
Thank you for watching.
Yeah. Cheers.
All right, guys. Thank you very much. See you tomorrow.